Thanks for watching. I'm Margot Kimberg, and this is In the Spotlight, closer look at a crime novel. Some crime novels have a very strong sense of place, setting, local culture, so that readers actually get the sense of being in that place during the story, and that can add a lot of appeal to a novel. Let's take a look at a novel like that today and turn the spotlight on Parker Bilal's The Golden Scales. Makana is a Sudanese-born former police detective who escaped to Egypt 7 years earlier, before the events in the novel. Now, he's a private investigator who lives and works in Cairo. One day, he is unexpectedly summoned, and that's the word, to the home of Saad Hanafi, a very wealthy and very powerful businessman. Hanafi wants to hire Makana to find a missing person. Hanafi owns a successful football club, and his star player, Adli Romario, has disappeared. He wants Makana to find the young man and is willing to pay very well for it. Makana isn't in a position to turn down a very powerful person with a deep pocket, so he agrees. Shortly after meeting Hanafi, Makana is in a cafe where he meets a down-and-out English woman named Liz Markham. He learns that she's been coming to Egypt every year for the past 17 years looking for her daughter Alice, who went missing. It's a sad story, and Makana has some sympathy for the woman. He's not sure what he can do to help, but her story resonates with him as he lost his own wife and daughter. Not long after talking to Liz Markham, Makana learns that she's been brutally murdered. Could his talk with her have had something to do with the crime? Could her case be mixed up with the case he's working? It doesn't on the surface seem likely. Why would there be a relationship between those two people? But Makana can't see any real motive for her murder. She wasn't robbed or raped, and I can say without spoiling the story that this isn't the work of a serial killer. Makana wants to know more, but he's being paid to find out what happened to Adli, so he keeps looking for answers. As the story goes on, Makana learns the truth behind the Hanafi fortune, Adli's disappearance, and Liz Markham's death. The cases aren't clear-cut, so he has to penetrate walls of lies, mistrust, and more. It turns out to be a very complex case that's much more than it appears on the surface. And as Makana works the case, he finds that more than one person would be very happy to see him dead. So, what are the elements in this story? What holds it together and keeps the action going? Well, as I said, the story has a very strong sense of setting, in this case, Cairo. From the very richest places to the dirty, gritty streets, Bilal shows the reader modern Cairo. We also get a sense of the political, economic, and religious factors that play such important roles in Egyptian society. The story is told from Makana's point of view, third person, past tense. So his backstory is central. He deeply misses his wife and daughter, and he feels responsible for not being able to protect them. He grieves their loss, but he doesn't wallow. He's been through a lot, so he's very tough. Still, he's not a Superman, and he knows that he could easily be killed. Although the story is more or less chronological, Makana's story is told in some places in flashback, so readers will want to know what's happening so they can piece the pieces of the story together. There is violence in the novel, although it's not gratuitous. Violence is just the way some things are done. It's also worth noting that this is not a book with a happy ending where everything is put right again. And we learn that not all of the characters are what they seem, and plenty of them can't be trusted. Still, the novel isn't unrelentingly bleak. There is some life in it, and there is some dark humor in it too. Parker Bilal's The Golden Scales is a very Egyptian story of the way politics, religion, family, and money can impact people's lives and decisions. It's a complex story that features a private investigator who'd like nothing more than some peace and closure, but doesn't seem to get them. This has been In the Spotlight. I'm Margot Kinberg. Thanks for watching.